My wife looked me in the eyes and said, "I got my results back. I tested positive." I was about to pull her into my arms, until a sickening truth dawned on me. We hadn't been intimate in months. My hands trembled as I asked, "Who were you with?" She fell to the floor, clutching my legs, begging, "Please forgive me. I, 38 male, have been married to my wife, let's call her Rachel, 36 female, for almost 12 years. We met in college, dated for a few years, and got married in a small church in St. Louis, Missouri. We've lived in the same suburb just outside the city since then. I work in insurance, not exciting but steady. She's a nurse at a local urgent care center. We were never that wild couple, but we were solid. People looked at us like we had it figured out. Our friends envied our stability. Even when life got hard, COVID, job stress, her parents aging and needing help, we stuck together. We didn't fight much. We always had each other's back. About a year ago, things got quiet between us. I chalked it up to the stress of life. She was working more shifts, picking up nights and weekends. I was trying to move up in my job, dealing with audits and long hours. We weren't spending much time together. At first, I didn't think too much about it. Then I noticed she stopped initiating affection. Nothing big. Just less touching. No hand on my back when she walked by. Fewer kisses. The sex stopped almost entirely. We maybe were intimate once every 2 months, and even then, it felt forced. I thought maybe she was just tired. Overworked. I never pushed her. I just told myself it would get better. But it didn't. The distance kept growing. We'd sit on the couch watching TV in silence. She started sleeping on the edge of the bed, curled up with her back to me. I'd wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and see her scrolling her phone under the covers. I figured she couldn't sleep. Then, about 2 months ago, she started acting strange. Like jumpy. Defensive. I'd ask her how her day went, and she'd just say, "Fine," and walk away. If her phone buzzed, she'd turn the screen away from me. She used to leave it on the counter when she showered. Now it was always face down or in her pocket. I tried not to let it get to me. I trusted her. I really did. 3 weeks ago, she came home early from work. Her face was pale. Like she had just seen a ghost. I was in the kitchen making dinner. She came in and just stood there. I asked if everything was okay. She didn't answer. Then she said the words I'll never forget. "I got my results back. I tested positive." At first, I was confused. I thought maybe she meant COVID or something. But her eyes were watery. She was shaking. I asked, "Positive for what?" She whispered, "Chlamydia." It felt like time stopped. I didn't move. I didn't say anything. My first thought was, how? Then I remembered. We hadn't had sex in months. 6 months, maybe more. I asked her, flat out, "Who were you with?" She collapsed. Literally. She dropped to the floor, clutching my legs. Crying. Snot running down her face. Begging. "Please, please, please forgive me. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything." I couldn't move. My hands were trembling. My mouth was dry. My whole body felt like it wasn't mine. I just kept staring down at her, not even angry yet, just stunned. She kept saying it was just one time, that she was lonely, that she thought I didn't love her anymore, that some guy from work had been nice to her, and it just happened. She said it wasn't ongoing, said it was over, said she hated herself. I didn't speak. I just walked out of the kitchen and into the garage. Sat in my car. Stared at the wall for an hour. I could still hear her sobbing from inside the house. That night, I slept in the guest room. The next morning, she tried to talk again. I couldn't even look at her. I asked if she used protection. She said no. I asked if she knew who he was. She said yes. I asked for his name. She gave me a first name only. Said he was married too? Said he worked nights? She wouldn't say more. Claimed it didn't matter. But it did matter. I started doing my own digging. Went through our phone records. She'd deleted all her messages. But she forgot about her call logs. I found dozens of calls to one number over the last few months. Some of them late at night, while I was asleep. I called it. It went to voicemail. A man's voice. No name. I called again later from a different number. He picked up. I asked him straight out if he knew Rachel. Silence. Then he hung up. I felt sick. I went to get tested myself. Thank God I was clean. That told me everything I needed to know. This hadn't been going on for long. Or at least I hadn't been exposed. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. The betrayal. The lies. The fact that she brought that into our home. Into our bed. She tried to explain. She said she felt like I had stopped caring. That I never touched her anymore. That we were more like roommates. I told her, "That doesn't give you the right to cheat." She nodded. Said she knew. Said she hated herself for it. Said she'd do anything to fix it. But I don't know if it can be fixed. It's been 3 weeks. I still can't look at her the same way. She's been sleeping in the guest room now. Says she wants to give me space. Says she's going to therapy. Says she hasn't spoken to him since. But I keep replaying everything in my head. How she came home and told me like she was delivering bad news from the doctor. How I almost hugged her, thinking she was sick, only to realize I didn't even touch her long enough for that to be true. How she clung to my legs, sobbing, and all I could feel was numb. How she chose someone else. And now, I don't know what to do. I wish I could say things calmed down after that. They didn't. A few days after the truth came out, I got a letter in the mail. Not an email. Not a text. A real envelope, handwritten. No return address. Inside was a photo. Of Rachel. At some restaurant I didn't recognize. Her hand was resting on the hand of a man across from her. His face was turned slightly, blurry, but it wasn't me. I stared at it for a long time. There was a note with it, scrawled in block letters. Thought you should know. This wasn't a one-time thing. My heart was pounding. I showed it to Rachel that night. She went ghost white. Sat down like her knees had given out. Said nothing at first. Then, barely a whisper, she admitted, it wasn't just once. It was 4 times. She said. Not one. Not some drunken mistake. 4 times. I felt like someone had kicked me in the stomach. I wanted to scream, to break something. But I just sat there. Quiet. Still. That was the night I moved into a hotel. I didn't even pack much. Just a bag with clothes and my laptop. I left her sitting on the living room floor, staring at the photo like it might disappear if she looked hard enough. The hotel was a crappy one off I-64. Smelled like old carpet and microwaved food. But it was quiet. I needed quiet. She texted me the next morning. Please come home. We can fix this. I'll do anything. I didn't reply. I spent the next few days working from the hotel, avoiding calls from mutual friends. I didn't tell anyone yet. Not even my sister, who's like my best friend. I wasn't ready for the pity looks. The questions. The judgment. Then something weird happened. 2 days later, while I was grabbing coffee at a place near the hotel, a guy approached me. Late 30s, clean cut, wearing scrubs. Said, "Are you Rachel's husband?" I said yes slowly. He looked down. Then said, "I think we should talk." Turns out, he was the guy. Let me say that again, he came to find me. He said his name was Brian. Worked nights with Rachel at the clinic. Said he didn't know she was married at first. Claimed she told him after they slept together. She said you two were basically separated, he told me. I stared at him. I think I smiled. Not a kind smile, more like the kind you make when everything around you is burning down. She lied, I said. We weren't separated. We were married. Still are. He looked shaken. Said he ended it immediately once he found out. Said he was sorry. That he didn't want trouble. That he had a wife too, and 2 kids. You have kids? I asked. He nodded. I wanted to punch him. I really did. But I didn't. I just walked out and got in my car. Sat there for 20 minutes, gripping the steering wheel. When I got back to the hotel, I had 5 missed calls from Rachel. I didn't answer. That night, she showed up at the hotel. I don't know how she found me. Maybe checked my credit card records or guessed from the hotel key I accidentally left at home. She stood outside my door crying. She begged. Again. On her knees in the hallway. Said she would do anything: therapy, counseling, church. Said she'd quit her job, block him, change her number. Said she didn't even know why she did it. I was lonely, she said. I felt invisible. I finally asked her, "Why didn't you talk to me?" She said she tried. That she dropped hints. That she thought I didn't care. That I never noticed how unhappy she was. But that's the thing. I was unhappy too. I just didn't cheat. I let her talk. I let her cry. Then I told her to go home. I stayed at the hotel for 2 more weeks. During that time, things got even messier. I got an email. From his wife. She'd found out. Read his texts. Recognized my name. Said she thought I deserved to know everything. Attached to the email were screenshots. Messages between Rachel and Brian. Not just flirty ones. Not just one-night stand type stuff. These were love messages. Can't wait to see you again. You're the only one who gets me. I wish we could just run away. One message said, I love you. I don't know what I'd do if I lost you. I stared at that one for a long time. That was when something inside me broke. I forwarded the email to Rachel with no message. She called, hysterical. Said it was a lie. Said it wasn't what it looked like. Said they were just caught up in something. But I knew the truth. She didn't just cheat. She fell for him. And that changes everything. About a week after I forwarded her that email, Rachel stopped trying to contact me. No more calls. No texts. No showing up at the hotel. It was almost eerie. Like she had just vanished. At first, I thought maybe she'd given up. Maybe she realized she'd gone too far and finally let go. Part of me was relieved. Part of me hated how much that silence actually hurt. Then, my sister called me. She said she saw Rachel at a bar. Not alone. She was with some guy. She said. Not the one from the photo. This guy looked younger. Real handsy. They didn't see me, but I thought you should know. I felt something snap again. Not out of jealousy. Just disappointment. Confusion. Because 2 days earlier, Rachel sent me an email, her first message in a week. It said, I still love you. I'm not giving up on us. I'll wait as long as it takes. Meanwhile, she's out playing games? So I drove by the bar that night. I know. Not my proudest moment. But I had to see it for myself. She was there. Sitting at the back booth, holding some guy's hand. Laughing. Her head tilted the way she used to do with me. Same smile. Same eyes. I sat in my car across the street, stomach twisted in knots. What was I even doing? I drove back to the hotel and tried to sleep. Couldn't. My brain was racing. None of it made sense. If she was really done, fine. I could start moving on. But this whole back and forth, saying she loves me, while seeing other guys? It felt like I was going crazy. And then the biggest twist hit. A few days later, I got a voicemail from her sister. She sounded frantic. Said Rachel had been in a car accident. Apparently, she had been drinking. Lost control near Forest Park. Hit a tree. Airbags deployed. Car totaled. She survived, but broke her arm and had a concussion. She was in the hospital, semi-conscious, and calling out my name. Her sister said, "She's asking for you. You don't have to come, but I think she really needs you." I didn't know what to do. I hadn't spoken to Rachel since seeing her at that bar. My heart said stay away. My conscience said she's still your wife. So I went. She was lying in the hospital bed, bruised up, arm in a cast, face swollen but alive. She opened her eyes and whispered, "You came." And I didn't know what to feel. She told me she was sorry. That she'd been drinking alone, thinking about me. That she didn't want to live like this anymore. That she didn't want to be this person. I sat with her for a while. Didn't say much. Just sat there. Before I left, her nurse walked in. And then came the second twist. The nurse asked if Rachel wanted to schedule her follow-up OBGYN appointment. I froze. Rachel's eyes widened. I didn't say a word. I waited until the nurse left the room. Then I asked, "Are you pregnant?" She didn't answer right away. Then tears. Not sobbing. Not begging. Just quiet tears. "I didn't want to tell you like this," she said. "I just found out before the crash. I was going to call you." My stomach dropped. I asked, "Is it mine?" She looked away. And that was all the answer I needed. I stood there, frozen in that hospital room, staring at Rachel. She couldn't even look at me. I said it again, slower. "Is it mine?" She shook her head. No. That was it. No long explanation. No drawn-out confession. Just one word. One word that cracked everything wide open. My knees buckled. I had to grip the side of the chair to keep from falling. I felt dizzy. My ears were ringing. I didn't know whether to scream or break something or cry. She started crying harder, clutching the hospital blanket. "I didn't mean for it to happen. I swear I didn't plan it. I didn't even know I was pregnant until last week. I was going to terminate it. But then, I don't know. I panicked." "You were going to get an abortion without telling me?" I asked. "I didn't want to hurt you more than I already had," she said. "You don't get to decide that," I said louder now. "You don't get to make that choice alone after what you've done." The nurse came in, clearly sensing the tension. "Is everything okay here?" Rachel wiped her face. I turned and left without answering. I sat in my car for over an hour. Couldn't bring myself to drive. Just stared at the steering wheel. The next few days were chaos. Rachel's sister called me, angry, saying I had no right to abandon her like that. I told her everything. The cheating. The STDs. The multiple affairs. The pregnancy. She went quiet. Then whispered, I didn't know all of that." I said, "None of you did. You all thought we were perfect. So did I." Rachel texted me the next day. She said she was keeping the baby. That she wasn't asking for anything from me. That she just wanted to be honest. That word, honest, almost made me laugh. I told her I wanted a divorce. No more counseling. No more trial separation. No more, maybe we can fix this. I wanted out. She asked if we could meet one last time before finalizing anything. I agreed. We met at a park near our old house. It was cold. Windy. Bare trees and gray skies. Fitting. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. Pale. Hair tied back. No makeup. We sat on a bench. No small talk. She looked at me and said, "I'm so sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything. But I need you to know, I never stopped loving you. I just lost myself." I let that sit for a second. Then I said, "You didn't lose yourself. You just stopped choosing me." She cried. I didn't. She asked if we could ever be friends again. I told her I didn't know. That was when her phone buzzed. She glanced at it. Then looked up, panicked. I grabbed it. A text from B. Brian. The guy. The father of the baby. It said. Still thinking about you. Can't wait until this mess is behind us. I laughed. Loud, bitter, sharp. You're still talking to him? She tried to explain, stammering. It's complicated. He says he's going to leave his wife. I stood up. I'm done. I left her on that bench, crying into her hands like the first time. But this time, I didn't feel numb. I felt free. I moved out of our house. Signed the divorce papers a month later. She didn't contest anything. She kept the house. I didn't care. Her sister reached out later and apologized for judging me. Said Rachel had always been fragile. I told her that's no excuse. A few mutual friends reached out, too. Some were shocked. Some quietly admitted they'd seen red flags in her behavior. Brian's wife ended up leaving him, too. She and I spoke briefly. Not to bond, just closure. She was kind. Said I deserved better. I told her the same. Rachel had the baby. I didn't go. She sent me a photo. I deleted it. The betrayal wasn't just about sex. It was about trust. About who she became when I wasn't looking. About the lies she told to protect herself, not me. The thing that hurt most? She looked me in the eyes when she told me she was positive. And I almost hugged her. She let me believe something had happened to her, when she knew exactly what she had done. That's the part one don't think I'll ever get over. People always ask if I'd take her back if she changed. No. Some damage doesn't heal. Some bridges don't burn. They explode. I'm learning how to live again. Alone, but not broken. Not anymore. I still believe in love. But next time, I'll see the signs. And I won't ignore them. I'm not hopeful. Not desolate either. Just real. And for now, that's enough.